Official good morning, welcome. Um, so if you're at home, do have 2 blocks and whatever you like to sit on. We're going to be doing a few more seated poses than usual. So whether it's a bolster, blanket, whatever's more comfortable for you. So happy New Year. I know a lot of you were here for the chakra series that I did. And everybody really enjoyed kind of the blend of the breath work we did with the asana, with the physical poses. So I kind of wanted to continue that today. So we are going to mix familiar poses with some not so familiar movement and breath work. Some of the stuff that we do in Kriya. So Kriyas are the sequence of actions that really help to move energy in the body, and they can be very balancing. But with the breath of fire that we do, if you're on your cycle, it's not recommended. If you're pregnant, it's not recommended. And with any breath work, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just breathe deep and smooth in a way that's comfortable for you. But part of the invitation with yoga is to just notice your experience. And sometimes the weirder stuff that we do can actually be a whole new enlivening experience in your body. But to begin, let's start in a comfortable seat. And the sequence that we're kind of mixing in our practice today is to cultivate courage in the body. So a lot of heart opening, but also opening the root as well. But to begin, I just want you to start to look at your hands and find at the very center of the palm, there's this little dip, and just start to massage that a little bit. And even take the time to really look at your hands as you do this, so that as you look at your hands, looking both at the palms, maybe looking at the back of the hands, finding at the center of the palm is the heart, part of the heart meridian. So a pressure point, a trigger point to open the heart. But it's also a nice way to warm up the hands a little bit in a slightly colder kind of day. But also starting to rub your palms together a little bit more, as if you're washing your hands under the faucet, and paying attention to the textures, noticing the different colors, the different shades in your hands, maybe noticing the length of your nails, imagining that your mind, your whole being were embodied in your hands right now, and just feeling and warming and paying attention. And then when you feel ready, start to take your hands and just kind of slide along the inner arm up to the heart, and doing that a few times, as if you could actually open up that connection from the hands to the heart. And then once you feel like that is maybe starting to open, starting to feel a little different, when you feel ready, finally take your fingertips to the space where the collarbones meet the breastbone, and just start to massage. So giving your sternum a little bit of a massage. No right or wrong to how you do it, just do what feels good. Notice the textures, notice the sensations. Often one area will feel much more tender than the other. And then even start to do that across the collarbone. So just below the collarbones, giving just a little massage, little slide side to side. Or again, maybe you rub the fingers in a little bit more. Do what feels good, but still staying with that sensation of the heart. And then finally, take your left hand to your heart, your right hand over your left. Bow your chin to your chest, close your eyes, and just breathe, giving yourself a moment to let your whole focus shift to just you, your body, and your breath. Breathing in as if you could breathe into the root of the pelvis. And then as you exhale, breathing out from your seat. Starting to find that main central channel of breath along the spine. And your heart at the very center of it all. So in the philosophy of yoga, it's said that everything exists, everything that is embodied, everything that we experience is of supreme consciousness. There's nothing else, nothing other, nothing that is not consciousness. And this means we are never isolated. It means we are never alienated from what we experience as wholeness. And this practice is the remembrance of that. To take back these little parts of ourselves that have somehow started to feel separate, and to bring them back into our hearts. And it's in the heart where everything meets. So as you take these next few breaths, imagine you could breathe in from the front of the heart into the back of the heart. Maybe even starting to feel a presence behind the heart. Again, however you experience it, however you define it, there's no right, no wrong. But as you breathe in from the front of the heart to the back of the heart, imagine you could, from that presence, from that unknowable presence, breathe out love. Especially this time of year, it's a time when fears can rise up, when discomfort, doubt can take hold. Imagine you could breathe in that fear, breathe in that doubt, breathe in that separation from the front of the heart into that presence behind the heart. So that divine presence can transform it. So it can transform it to love, to courage, into whatever you need right now in order to live in your heart, to live in the source of your truth. Take 3 more breaths just like that. Again, breathing in from the front of the heart, behind the heart, noticing that presence. And then as you exhale, imagining you could actually exhale love or peace, courage. And now gently bring your palms together in a prayer position, and we'll make the sound of Om together just once to begin our practice. You're welcome to join or just listen, whatever you choose, but just one Om to bring us together in practice. Wherever you are in your breathing, inhale fully, exhale completely, and together we inhale. And then from here, gently open your eyes. And go ahead and change the cross of your leg so you can take the opposite foot in front. And we're just going to start with a few circles of the hips. So starting to maybe move on over to your right, moving the heart forward, coming back. And they can be big circles, they can be little circles, just kind of feel into where your range of motion is today. Even feeling the shift of your weight on the mat. Maybe a sense of the breath moving from one place to the other. And then start to make circles in the other direction. And even test it out when you start to move in the other direction. If the range of motion needs to shift a little bit, do so. Yeah, there should be tissues in the bathroom too. Okay. Yeah. And then as you come to center, what we'll do, so as you inhale, slide your hands up to the top of the thighs so the heart lifts. But then as you exhale, round your spine, slide your hips forward. And now just continue to do that. And then if you like, we're going to start breath of fire right away. So breath of fire, short, quick breaths out through the nose. So it's a short inhale. The inhale will often happen naturally. Focus on the exhale from the navel. So inhale halfway and then exhale. And we'll do this for about a minute. And I'm breathing a little loud. Your breath does not have to be as audible as mine. I'm making it a little louder so you can kind of hear me. So the palate actually stays soft. And the sound comes from the forcing of the exhale out. So we're going to be clearing a lot through the pelvis, through really the root, the tailbone of the floor of the pelvis. We'll be clearing through the navel, through the heart, really the whole length of the spine. About 15 more seconds here. And if you're new to this, just listen as we close, because we'll close a little differently with these postures. So continuing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, hold the breath in, find a nice long spine. See if you could actually lift the pelvic floor, draw the navel in, maybe tuck the chin in. And then when you're ready, go ahead and exhale all the way out. Yeah. And then from here, take your elbows. So take your elbows maybe about 90 degrees and your palms can point forward. But then when you, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I lied. Take your hands to the outside of your hips. We'll get to that. That's the one that's next. If you need to, take your blocks outside your hips. And what we're going to do, we've done something similar to this, but this time the legs can stay crossed. And what you'll do is lean forward a little bit and place the hands maybe halfway between the thigh bones, so that when you press your hands, it actually feels like your core, your navel center is turned on a little bit. So just a slight lean forward can help you find the core. And then what you'll do as you press your hands down, you're going to lift your hips up and then let them drop. And you're just going to keep doing that. We're going to actually do it for 2 full minutes. And I like to use the blocks. I have a shorter torso. Sorry, I have shorter arms, longer torso. So this makes it a little easier for me. For those of you who have longer arms and a shorter torso, it's probably a little easier for you to not use the blocks. But do make sure as you lift, as you press down, if your wrists are having a hard time, you can always make fists with your hands. That might make it a little easier. But do kind of let yourself drop so that we're starting to turn on the root chakra, so the foundation, our grounding, our steadiness. You know, the heart is held by the foundation, just like the foundation of a house. We want to support by opening the root, warming up the navel a bit, warming up the body, the lower centers, before we tap into the heart a little bit more. And just keep moving, seeing if you can let kind of the shaking movement start to actually shake out the doubt, shake up the fear, shake up the separation, whatever the tension might be. So we can certainly work from a more physical level, moving through the physical tension, literally shaking up the resistance. All right, 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop and hold. So inhale fully. Again, nice long spine. Hold the breath in as long as you can. And then exhale, let it all release. And just start to notice, that's a big one. Notice any shifts in your body, any shift in the sensation, the breath, the energy that's opening up. All right, go ahead and change the cross of your legs. We're gonna do two more seated movements, and then we'll start to move a little bit. So now from here, you're gonna bend your elbows about 90 degrees, but your palms are actually gonna come in a little bit as if they were hovering maybe 12 inches from your head, but the palms will come forward. But then as you exhale, so it's going to be kind of a forceful exhale. As you exhale, you're gonna take the hands about 6 inches apart as if you were gonna clap, but you're not actually gonna clap. So again, we'll do this for 2 minutes. So as you inhale, arms up, exhale, yeah. And yeah, just keep moving. So it's almost like a short, slow breath of fire. And same thing, kind of jolting the body, starting to move into the heart a little bit more. Again, we've turned on the root, we've turned on the navel. Now we're starting to shake up the energy of the heart. Had a really lovely conversation last night with a group of women I lead, and we're talking about how we still think of courage as sort of this puffed up chest, superhero, warrior energy. When we start to really look at cultivating courage, the real power is in the softening, the ability to be vulnerable. And of course, Brené Brown's work, a researcher, found that every single act of courage in the thousands of studies she's researched, every act of courage comes from a place of vulnerability. It comes from a place of fear. And here we're learning how to redefine courage. About 30 more seconds. Again, any resistance around the heart, imagining you could actually shake it up a bit. And now keep moving. Again, just listen. 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, even here, hold it in, long spine, lifting from the root. And then when you're ready, release the arms, pause. Let the energy circulate. Maybe there's a sense of heat washing over you. Maybe a sense of connecting to a deeper wisdom inside. Even here, finding that source behind your heart as we learn to connect to it. And now from here, as you inhale, reach your arms up, interlace your hands, point your index fingers straight up, and then we're going to do a chopping action. So now as you exhale, it's going to be a little chop down. So inhale up, down. And again, we'll be doing this for about 2 minutes. So find that nice root in your seat. Sit in a bolster if you need to. I know we're sitting a little longer than a lot of us are used to. But chopping, long spine, strong in the root. Even here, as we start to connect to some of those higher centers in the body. So again, if we look at the subtle body of the system of the chakras, there are ways that we hold energy, experience, map into our bodies. And here we're stirring things up, probably in a whole new way. Long spine. I know with the Kriyas, your core and your arms get stronger than you would. Repetitive movement, seeing if you can just get lost with the breath, with the movement. Nice chopping action, smooth, steady breath, letting the doubt get shaken up, and anything that you no longer want stuck in the body, creating space for that to open up, get moved around. Got about 20, let's say 15 more seconds here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up, hold it in. And then exhale, let it go. Let the heart melt. Let your body soften. Noticing any shift in your presence. Again, letting the knowledge of the heart, the courage that needs to be expressed, letting those acts come from a more authentic place. Listening and knowing that the action that needs to be taken, trusting it, believing in it. Take your hands outside of your hips. We're just going to do 20 more. So press down, lift. Just about 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we will move after this. Make fists with your hands. Right along your navel. You're going to start to make circles. Yep. And you're going to let it be nice and fast. And you're going to let it, as you clench the fist, do have your thumbs crossed inside the fingers. So from the heart, doing these little circles, seeing if you can actually let it get a little faster. So you're really moving the stuff around the heart a little faster, about 30 more seconds. Nice and focused on the movement, just getting lost in it. Just had a little vision. Dun, 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 the Wicked Witch of the West. We love her though for her wickedness, right? All right, 10 more seconds. Keep moving. See if you can let it go a little faster. Clench a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the fist at the navel. Breathe in, hold the breath in. Again, a little more of a clench, maybe even a squish of the face, letting the shadow, and then exhale. Now let it go. Couple nice sweet breaths. Soft, steady breathing. Feeling into the heart. Maybe even getting a sense of the courage that we're cultivating here, rising up from the heart, opening up our voice, clarifying our communication, even rising up to the middle of the mind, tapping into that deeper knowing, that deep, deep intelligence there. And then slowly come to tabletop, actually come to downward facing dog. And as you come into down dog, have your wrists as wide as your shoulders, maybe a little wider. Let the head go. And just draw everything in. Squeeze the forearms towards each other, draw the shins towards each other. Imagine everything coalescing into the heart. And then from the center of the heart, expand. Imagine from the heart, the hands pressing down and forward. From the heart, the thigh bones reaching back. Soaking that new courage into the cells. And again, we're not shaming the shadow, we're not shaming the doubt, the fear. All of it holds a place. Even courage needs a modicum of fear to keep us honest. Here, we're just learning how to make space for all of it. Slowly walk your feet forward into a fold. Take a nice long exhale here. Let everything go. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. And then exhale, bow. And as you press the floor away, slowly rise all the way up. Taking the arms wide and high. And then hands back to your heart. And we're just going to do some half sun salutes. So press down, inhale, reach all the way up. And then exhale, bow all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. And then fold. Press the floor away, inhale, reach all the way up. And then hands back to heart center. Couple more just like that. Press the floor away, inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. And just keep moving at your own pace. Keep moving with your own breath. Seeing if you can just be with this courage growing in the heart. And now as we all come together in Tadasana, we're going to start to move into some sun variations. Press the floor away, inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift halfway. Step your left foot all the way back. Right foot forward, left foot back. Knee down, inhale, rise up. Anjaneyasana, big breath in. Exhale, bow, hands to the earth. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll your spine forward to plank. Come all the way down to your belly. Take your time, point your feet, lift the shoulders, the heart, the head to cobra, and then back to down dog. A couple breaths, Coming back to the heart again and again. And then lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot forward between the hands. Right knee down, inhale, roll up, rise up, and then bow. Step your right foot forward into a fold. Inhale, lift halfway, and then bow. Press down, inhale, rise. Hands to the heart. Other side, press down, inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart. Step the right foot back. Knee down, rise up. Anjaneyasana. Hands to the earth. Downward facing dog, left foot comes back. Transition however you choose. See if as you rise to your back bend, if the heart feels a little different. And then down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step it forward, right foot forward, left knee down. Anjaneyasana as you rise. And then bow. Left foot forward to fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And then bow. Press down, inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to your heart. Couple more just like that. Press down, inhale, rise. And then fold. Inhale, lengthen. Left foot back. Knee down, rise, Anjaneyasana. And then bow down. Right foot back, down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Take your time. Anjaneyasana. And then downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Step the left foot forward. Again, right knee down. Rise up, roll up, and then fold. Right foot comes forward to bow. Inhale, lengthen, and then fold. Press down, inhale, rise up. Hands to the heart. And just keep moving with your breath. Keep moving at your own pace. If you don't remember what comes next, make it up. I want to do these next couple of rounds. No direction. You just moving, breathing, sensing what comes next. Feeling on how you need to move, even how you need to not move perhaps. But see if as you move, you can sense that divine presence, that unnameable source behind your heart. See if you can move, breathe from that place behind the heart. So it's a soft sense of courage, a more motherly presence of courage. For the energy of the mother is sweet and soft, steady and strong, often quiet in the distance, but still there holding everything together. And then once you feel even on both sides, when you are ready, we will all meet in Tadasana, arms along your sides, palms forward, slightly open, as if you could receive the vibration of the room. Coming back to that experience, imagining your fear, your doubt, whatever feels true for you, imagining it in front of you, breathing it in from the front of the heart to the back of the heart, letting it be transformed by that unknowable source, unnameable source, out into love. Even starting to think of someone you know who could use a little more courage, a little more support, who may be experiencing a little more fear. Imagine them before you. Breathe in their fear from the front of the heart into the back, feeling that unnameable source, so that as you exhale, transforming it into that soft, supple courage. Maybe you describe it as love, maybe it's peace, whatever it may be. Let it start to ruminate and expand. Remembering the practice that we do here on our mats. It starts with ourselves, but does expand into those around us. As you softly open your eyes, bring your feet as close together as you can. And then as you inhale, take your arms nice and wide. And then find eagle arms, cross your right elbow over the left. And you can always grab opposite shoulders, back of the hands, maybe those palms touch. And then bend your knees for chair pose. Find your focus, press your right foot down, balance on your left big toe. You can always stay here or wrap that left leg around the right. Hug the outer knees, outer elbows in. Maybe drop the hips a little bit more as the heart rises and expands. And then keep the bind of your arms. Lift that left knee, let it hover. Some of you might come into warrior 3, where that left leg and the torso come parallel to the floor. Maybe pause there for a moment. You can always stay on the tip of the toe. And then let's all step that left foot all the way back. Release those arms wide and high, high lunge. Firm the legs as you rise. And now take your torso forward about halfway, arms wide. Find that hover point where the core is turned on. And then from here, you are not going to touch the ground. Inhale fully to expand. Exhale, tap your left hand to that right ankle. Draw the navel in and up. Squeeze the legs. Draw in through the navel into the heart as you expand. And then inhale, rise back up. This time, back heel will come down. Pivot the feet, right toes in, left toes out. Come to warrior 2, facing the back of your mat. So your left foot is in warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior, right hand to the tailbone, left arm to the ear. And then side angle, take your left elbow to the top of the thigh. Bring your right arm to your ear. Keep that tailbone drawing in. Nice full breath as you lengthen. And then press down, inhale, rise back up, come to stand up. Bring your left toes in, right toes out. So now your right toes pointing to the front of your mat. This time, reverse triangle, left hand to the tailbone, right arm to the ear, pull up from the legs. And then classic triangle pose, right hand will come down as your left arm reaches up. Keep the tailbone drawing in. Feel that zipper from the pelvis to the heart. Take your left arm to the ear, point the palm down. Maybe take your right arm parallel to the left. Keep hugging the legs together. Right lung forward, left lung back, full breath in. And then exhale, low lunge. Place your hands to frame that right foot. Lower your left knee down. Take your right foot a little wider. Left hand can stay inside the leg. Stay here, maybe come down onto your elbows or your blocks. Maybe you lift that back knee up. Still squeeze the front hip, right inner thigh together. But then as you press the hands and the elbows down, draw everything into the navel. And then from there, do 3 cat-cows. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round in. 2 more, inhale, lengthen. And then bow. Last one, inhale, open. And then fold. And now, let us all keep the hands inside that right foot. Back knee will come up, come to a squat. So your back foot is going to come forward. Bend both knees deeply. Find your squat. Yeah, I know. Fun after all the sitting. Press the elbows into the thighs, thighs to the elbows. Just the main thing, make sure the knees and the toes are lined up. And just 3 big breaths. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. 2 more like that. Inhale all the way. Exhale, let it go. Last one, inhale and release. Take your hands to the earth. Bring your feet together. Long exhale to bow. Inhale, lift halfway. Fold once more. One more like that. Inhale, lengthen. And bow. Press the floor weight. Inhale, reach all the way up. And then hands back to your heart. Bring your feet as close together as you can. Inhale, take your arms nice and wide. Full breath in. Exhale, left elbow over the right. So eagle arms, any version that you need. And then bend your knees for chair. Take 50% of the weight into the heels. Left foot will press down. Maybe wrap the right leg around the left. Again, outer knees, outer elbows, hugging to center. From the navel, from the heart, lift those elbows a little higher. Maybe lift that right knee. Find warrior 3, right leg torso, come parallel. Squeeze left hip, right inner thigh together. Try to find one focal point to steady your gaze. And then right foot steps, tiptoe all the way back. Inhale, high lunge, release those arms. Full breath in, pulling up from the earth. And then take your torso forward, halfway, arms wide. Full breath in. Exhale, take your right hand to your left ankle and just hover for a moment. Squeeze the legs together, find that zipper from the tailbone through the navel to the heart. And then inhale, rise back up, high lunge. Back heel will come down. Pivot, left toes in, right toes out. Warrior 2 facing the back of your mat. So right toes turned out towards the back of your mat. Yeah. And then reverse warrior, hand to the tailbone. Jennifer, switch your feet. Yeah, I know it gets confusing. And then side angle pose. So now left elbow to the top of the thigh, right arm to the ear. And just get really, really long. And then inhale, rise back up, switch the feet, left toes in, right toes out, reverse triangle, right hand to the tailbone, left arm to the ear. Again, firm the legs from the root, rise up. Classic triangle pose, left hand down, right arm up. And as the tailbone draws in, feel the core turn on from the pubic bone to the heart. Bring your right arm to the ear, point the palm down. Maybe from here, left arm meets the right. From the pelvis, root down as much as you lengthen. So both sides of the waist nice and long. And then exhale, low lunge, hands will frame your left foot, right knee will come down. This time, left hand will come inside the foot, and then bring that foot a little wider. Again, option 2, stay here. Maybe come down to your elbows. Maybe lift that back knee up. Yeah, blocks are a nice halfway in between. but do squeeze the left hip right inner thigh together. And then as you exhale, bow in. So squeeze the legs towards each other, bow into the navel, and then inhale, lengthen the heart. Do that a couple more times. Exhale, round in. Inhale, lengthen. Feeling into the root, the connection through the navel, the heart, and the head. And then the next time you bow, let's all straighten the arms, so hands under the shoulders. Back knee will lift. Once more, take a squat, right foot comes forward. Bend both knees. This time, take your right armpit, so your right armpit in front of your right shin or knee. And then on your inhale, reach your left arm nice and wide, hips low, finding that kind of zipper through the heart. And then other side, take your left armpit in front of the left shin or knee, extend the left arm out to the left, and then right arm up, gaze can come up. Keep the tailbone drawing in as you breathe. Stay there as you exhale. And then lower that right hand down, straighten your legs, heel, toe, your feet together, and bow. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step back to plank, vinyasa of your choice, or none at all. And then we will all come back to a comfortable seat. We're going to finish up our Kriya. Nice, tall spine. This time, just pause for a moment to kind of reorient yourself here. But with that nice long spine, you're going to reach your arms up. And then bend your elbows, grab opposite elbows with your hands. Even think that you could press the elbows wide into the hands so the nice firm connection. And just nice deep breath in to lengthen. But then as you exhale, bow down. We're just going to keep doing that. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Keep moving at your own pace with your own breath. Staying present to kind of this energy of the bow. Bringing that energy of surrender in. Again, we're redefining what courage looks like so that we're actually present with our experience of the doubt, of the fear, of the separation, using that modicum of courage to invite the shadow in so it can move through us, so that we're not shaming it, we're not brushing it under the rug, we're letting it become integrated for all of our experiences, however we may perceive them, as good, as bad, as ugly. They all make us who we are. They help us find more truth, more strength, more resilience. So breathing and bowing, finding that source of truth within you. That knowing that you're taking the right action, the right step. Last bow. Inhale, rise up, hold for a moment, hold the breath in, nice tall spine, press the elbows to the palms, And then when you're ready, exhale, let it go, release the arms, hands to the top of the thighs, and just pause and feel. Feel the shift in your energy, maybe a sense of what we've stirred up, starting to ground and settle inside. And then on your next inhale, reach your arms wide and high. Let the palms touch. If you need to bend the elbows a little bit, that's totally okay. But as you inhale, lift up. Sorry, what we're going to do. So from here, inhale, lean to your left. So you're going to lean to your left. And then as you exhale, you're going to lean to your right. And that's what we'll do here. So again, inhale, leaning to the left. Exhale, leaning to the right. And just moving, swaying side to side. Again, staying present to that absolute presence, that unnameable source inside. The courage to stay soft and open. Again, redefining courage as actually removing the armor and moving with truth, with softness, even with vulnerability and fear. Again, all of our emotions have a purpose. All of our experiences have a lesson to be integrated. We can just stay open to our experience. Honoring our nervous system for keeping us safe in moments when we needed it. Even honoring the patterns that are so deeply part of our chemistry. Often we're unaware of that fight, flight, fawn response we have. Just a couple more rounds. Actually, do one more round to your right. And then inhale, hold the breath in, lift the pelvis, the navel. And then when you're ready, exhale, let it go. Releasing the arms. Once more, just checking in. How does that sequence feel in your body? How does it affect your heart, your mind? We're going to do one more, and then we will take Shavasana after this. So this is probably the weirdest one we're going to do today. So stay seated for a moment, and I'm just going to have you watch me, and we'll see how I do showing this to you. So you're going to lay on your back. However, your hands are going to be interlaced with the palms at the base of the skull, behind that palate, elbows point up. Feet active, toes pointing up, elbows pointing up as well. And then you're going to do your best. So pressing the heels and the hands down, lift your hips, and then let it drop. And we're just going to repeat that for about a minute. And some of you might be able to get the hips and the shoulders up, but try to at least get the hips up. And you, even if it's just a millimeter high, that's fine too. So lay on your back, set yourself up. I am gonna time it. So laying on your back, interlace the hands behind the head, elbows up, legs straight, both big toes pointing up. And then just take a moment, breathe in to lengthen. And then as you exhale, press your heels and your hands down, lift your hips, maybe the shoulders, and let it drop. Yep, and you're just gonna repeat that. Yep, so heels down, hips up. And just keep repeating that for we're gonna do it for a minute. Again, letting that drop stimulate the body. This one is a little more specific to the kidneys. So the back of the low ribs is where our kidneys live. Our kidneys are associated with fear. They're also, we are in the, from Chinese medicine perspective, we are in the season of the kidneys. So it's a season for any stuck old patterns of fear to rise up. Even in Ayurveda, the living science of yoga, we're in the season of ether, which also tends to be a season where fears can get stirred up. Just 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, just let everything drop. Take your arms along your sides and just feel the sensations in your body. Maybe even a softening of the stress so many of us live in. Again, this sequence not only helps us find unshakable courage, but it also takes us out of those stress and fear response into that soft, sympathetic state. So take any little micro movements you need to rest. Even after that stimulation, maybe you can really feel the weight of your body. So your whole body actually pressing down into the earth. Like you are your own anchor here. Even here, as your body becomes effortless, as you rest, breathe from the front of the heart towards the back of the heart, even behind your heart. So as you breathe in, you're breathing to that unnameable source behind the heart. And even as you scan your body, if there's still tension, if there's still something taking up space that you feel ready to integrate, and imagine it before you so that as you breathe into the heart, to that unnameable source, breathe out love. And it's really love that binds, it's love that integrates. It's learning to love all of these different parts of ourselves, or even the possibility of meeting it with love. That the real transformation can begin. Even imagining this courageous love filling you up. So as you breathe into this unnameable source, as you give everything to this divine presence, can you feel the divine presence breathing you into love? so that it starts to fill up your body, soaking up your cells, so that this divine presence, this divine love, this place where we find unshakable courage, you can actually feel how it fills you up, how it moves in you, through you, and all around you. Resting in the arms of this unknowable source, unnameable source, holding you in love. Love your breath. Place your hands anywhere on your torso that is comforting for you, and just breathe. Take a moment here just to notice your practice, notice your experience, so you can memorize the state that you're in right now. Feeling into what you have cultivated for yourself in your practice today. And then as you're ready, As you start to notice your fingers, notice your toes, gently hug yourself in and hug in your whole self, giving yourself just a huge hug, drawing everything in, breathing in the full matrix of who you are. And letting it all be held in love. Gently roll over to your side. As you rest on your side for a moment, notice the sounds in the background, start to just bring some presence to the room around you. But even feel your practice still holding you inside. And then when you are ready, gently lift yourself to a comfortable seat. Take your hands to your heart, bow your chin to your chest. And as you breathe from the front of the heart into the back of the heart, finally, let's consider a community that may be held experiencing fear or doubt or need a little more courage. Now imagine that community before you, so that as we breathe in together, this community fear is breathed into the heart, to that unnameable source behind our hearts. So that as we exhale, we can exhale the love, the courage, the peace that we find. Everything held by this unnameable source. Remembering that we are never not separate from this source. And can we allow this practice to remind us of that? The power that comes from living in our hearts, learning to align our thoughts, our words, our actions from this deep source within, holding ourselves in love, learning to hold everything in love. Remembering it's a practice, and may we take it one breath, one step at a time. So much gratitude. Namaste. Thank you.